the House of Commons, Mike Duffy Live. Sitting in, Graham Richardson.
But I want to be joined now. We're joined now by retired Major General Louis Mackenzie. And Mr. Mackenzie, that I appreciate it. It's sort of a sketch, but boy, you get into the history of this region and it's something else. Talk to me a bit about what's happening on the streets of Belgrade today and why you think that's happening.
Well, Graham, not necessarily justifiable, but bearing in mind the characteristics of what's been going on over there for the last 15 years, not surprising, because we have a situation. Let's take an analogy. If Israel was told tomorrow they couldn't go near Jerusalem, that they'd lost their sort of the focus, the center of gravity of their soul, there'd be riots, I would imagine, in Israel. Well, 2 days ago, Serbia lost its equivalent of Jerusalem. It lost Kosovo. It's very questionable how legal that was, in that the leaders of the majority of the world's population haven't agreed to recognize Kosovo. I'm talking about China, India, Argentina, Spain, Russia. So those that have recognized, 20 out of the 192 nations in the United Nations, isn't exactly a quorum. And I think myself, having covered the bombing campaign when I was in Belgrade for CTV along with Tom Clark, the attack on the American embassy today was undoubtedly an attack on Madeleine Albright, who is just the devil incarnate as far as the Serbs are concerned, because she bought into the setup at the Račak massacre, which was a staged event by the KLA, and that actually ended up dictating Rambouillet and the NATO bombing campaign, which, according to at least 50% of international lawyers, was illegal also. So there's a lot of pent-up emotion over there right now.
I can see that, and I want to ask about there have been questions about why Canada has hesitated. Are you suggesting there's a right and a wrong here in terms of recognition of Kosovo, and Canada is so far on the right side of this?
Well, I would suggest that. I would say that, yes. I mean, in the case of China, think of Nepal. In the case of Russia, think of Chechnya. In the case of Russia, Chechnya. In the case of Spain, think of the Basques. In the case of India, think of Kashmir. The Palestinians are already talking about declaring themselves independent. A couple of days ago, I predicted, unfortunately, what seems to be coming to pass. The northern part of Kosovo, from Mitrovica up, where the 156 monasteries used to be before they were burnt by the Kosovars during the last few years, they're forming a parallel government. They'll probably secede from Kosovo, how ironic is that, and join Mother Serbia. The Republic of Srpska in Bosnia, which I'm quite familiar with after the Dayton Accord, they're meeting now in Banja Luka, as I understand it, to declare independence from Bosnia. So welcome to the domino effect. So this move,
yeah, I was going to ask that. This move and the recognition by significant powers, I appreciate what you're saying, that it's not the whole world, but significant powers have recognized Kosovo. That is having a domino effect, and other groups or other nations, as they see themselves, will start to do the same thing?
And the majority of Canadians genuflect in the direction of Manhattan every day because they trust the United Nations. Well, Canadians should understand Resolution 1244 recognizes Kosovo as part of Serbia and does not recognize the independence, and in fact has pulled its mission out, is pulling it out to be replaced by the European Union. This is a messy thing, and quite frankly, what's left of Kosovo after the northern chunk goes is not sustainable. So guess what? 2 days ago, when the Kosovars were celebrating their independence, they didn't wave their own flag. They waved the flag of Albania. They will be joining Albania and Greater Albania and giving themselves access to the sea. So this is probably the greatest domino effect in my lifetime.
Is this, I'm reluctant to ask you to characterize something on the fly, but is this pardon the phrase, a one-off, or does this say something larger? Are we going to be talking about Serbia now for many months, given what's happened today?
I don't think so. I think there's some steam being let off. I don't think the government probably intended this. There's all kinds of suspicion the police didn't intervene fast enough. But the fact is, this was a government called for demonstration. I would imagine some of them got carried away. Doesn't surprise me. It's a shame, because people are going to say, oh, there go the Serbs again, you know, doing this. Well, it's been probably one of the worst days, if not the worst day in the life of any Serb who's living today, when it happened 2 days ago, the independence.
Louis Mackenzie, appreciate your perspective on a very complicated part of the world. Thanks for being with us today.